Snaggly Snots. Oh no, let's again. Hey there, Snaggly Snots. Hey, so I filmed loads of stuff throughout the week, but I didn't like any of it, so I deleted it all. So there's lots to tell you, and this is a video on keeping oof. Alright guys, so I'm going to do some really basic oof. I can do better oof care later on, but I feel like if I'm going to do it, I should do it with things that I've actually got at the moment, in this moment in time. There's a fly. So let's stick with things like the Gemmatus and the Paradoxa, because everyone seems to have Paradoxa these days. It's ghosts are like the staple. It's like the praying mantis keeper's staple apparently. Don't know why. They're pretty cool. But you know, what's happening? Ghosts, ghosts, ghosts. So, basically, your ghost, you're keeping at what? 20 to 25 degrees, I guess. And your oof, you want to keep it about the same. So basically, in general, most of the time when you're keeping oof, you're keeping the oof the same as you would keep the praying mantis, with a few micro differences. But conditions-wise, you know, they're about the same. So, for a lot of the oof, if you're looking at like Gemmatus and Madagascar marbles and ghosts, as long as you're in a stable room, you don't need any heating, you don't need anything extra as such, you just need the correct sort of location for it. So first of all, let's just see if we've got any oof that we can take from the enclosure, because old man ghosts have been busy. I think I might have taken them all out, but we'll have a look anyway, because it'd be nice to get some down. Right, so this is my ghost enclosure. I've now just got two females in here. My eldest female finally passed away a little while ago. So there's one on that leaf. Oh, there's another one. And I think I've taken most of them out, but there's one little oof up there. So the oof is just like an egg sac, I guess. If you don't know, it's like an egg sac. Basically they'll lay like a sponge with a load of eggs in it, like a froth. And what you want to do is you want to leave that for at least sort of 4 days before you do anything with it. Ideally, I would like them to lay on the sticks. If they lay on the sticks, you can take the whole stick out, like these, with the oof on, and just use that. But I'm going to have to snip that thing down. Now if you try to take that down within sort of a day or two of it being laid, it would tear and it would be ruined. So when they're on something like this, you've got to be really careful. I'm going to go and get a scalpel and I'm going to snip it off from underneath. So we'll be back. I've got a scalpel. Now the trick with this is to aim it towards the aim the scalpel towards the wood. You don't want to do any damage to the oof. So let's have a look how I can do this. It's in a bit of an awkward position. Right, here we are. We got the oof. If you can see, there's no gook showing. It's all looking dry. So that's perfect. I mean, I don't want it dried out, but I don't want any gook showing. A cricket tub. You should have these if you're keeping any inverts. You should have these. These are feeding cricket tubs. And then you're going to get his lid and you cut across about there, low down. What you'll end up with is something like this. Now the reason these are perfect is because they hold in some of the moisture, but they've got hundreds of these tiny little holes down the edge which allow the moisture to also disperse. Now the main killer of oof is two. One, dry it out. If you dry it out, they can't hatch, they die. The other thing is if you overspray it, it rots. So basically what you're doing is you've got the top half off. This is just a bit of substrate. I'll top that up. Substrate at the bottom is important. Obviously this is actually a box which previously has had ghost mantises in. Right, so that's quite nice and tight down there. Now we need our trusty blue tag. Where is our trusty blue tag? Blue tack. Blue tack. Where are you, blue tack? Where are you? Blue tack. Blue tack. Where are you? Souls. Come on, blue tack. Come on. This is my worst nightmare. You can actually sew them onto the top if you're using some sort of... I don't know, who sews it onto the top? If you sew it onto the top, then, you know, good for you, but... I don't know why you're not using trusty old blue tack. I found some on the floor. It's a bit dusty, but it's blue tack. It's blue tack. It's blue tack. Right. We're back with blue tack. So now what we're going to do is we're going to attach the ooth to the top of this enclosure as far on each end as we can with the blue tack. In fact, if you look at the top of this, you can actually see where the legs are. So you don't want to cover any of those up, so you want to get the blue tack over this little bit there, maybe over this little bit. That's where the rest of the slurry came out of the Pro-Mantis. Doesn't matter about that, but we can use that to blue tack onto. Basically, you want to attach it to the top any way you can. Some people use a glue gun, like a cold glue, a soft glue gun, but I'm never sure about the chemicals in the glue and stuff, so I personally don't do that. I stick with trusty old blue tack. Here we go. There's one oof attached to the top. I'll show you some more. Oof. 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 I don't want to show you that one at the moment, I'll show you that later. Let's have a look. Where? Somewhere I've got a box of Mantis oof. Oh no, you can see it. Oof. Anyway, oof. Attached to the top. Right. And now, humidity. So, every other day I'm going to spray this. Every 2 days I'm going to spray this. Some people, when I first started, I had a little like thermometer and humidity monitor in every single one. You can get the strip thermometers and the humidity gauges. I realised that you don't need it. Unless you're doing something insane, you know, like some sort of devil's flower or orchid or something. I don't even know if you need it for orchids. But yeah, basically what we're going to do is we're going to spray the substrate so it's nice and damp, and we're going to put the lid on. Now, if in an hour's time there's or an hour and a half's time there's droplets all over the edge, that means there's too much water in there. If the substrate has gone dry by the end of the day, that means there's not enough water in there. You just get the amount of sprays right. You'll after doing it a few times, you'll know. Now every other day I spray this, and then in 4 weeks' time, approximately 4 weeks, it could be shorter, it could be longer, what's going to happen is you're going to wake up to this. Bum, bum. Ghosts, ghosts everywhere, but not a droplet to drink. Many, many ghosts. Right. There you go. That's it, I guess. That's literally it. That's how I do it anyway. So that's your basic oof care. And we can separate those guys out probably tomorrow, all into individual tubs. I know a lot of people keep them together, but I tend to try not to. I know I've obviously got the enclosures where they're communal at the moment, which is great. It is really great, but little slings, they don't want to do it. Oh my god, I was about to show you some great news. I forgot about this. So, you know, I was breeding the orchid the other day. For the first time ever, as soon as I open this box, I'm going to lose a bazillion flies. Literally, 2 days after mating. Now, I don't know if this is a big oof for an orchid. This is a regular one. It's a bit of a bastard because it's attached onto the mesh, but, you know, if I lose a bit of mesh, no worries. So she's laid that last night, so in a couple of days I'll take that out. It's fly central in here, so I want to close the lid, otherwise I'm going to lose all of my flies. But that's great news, really great news. What else? If we have a quick look at my Asian jumping spider egg sac, what's that? Wee little spiders are all hatching out. I'm actually quite shocked how big they are. They're about they must be about 3 times the size of the little Phidippus regis slings, and they're still only just like white eggs with legs. Quite a lot bigger than the Phidippus regis slings. Presumably there won't be as many, but yeah, that's a bit of a shock to me, which is great. Let's have a look at Mama Phidippus regis. Oh, she's doing good. These guys still haven't started to hatch yet. I did an unboxing video during the week, but I never put it online, and I'm not going to, because frankly after watching it, it looks a bit terrible. I thought it was a bit rubbish. But I'll show you what I got in it. What I got in it was great, I just think that my filming was rubbish. So let's go to that. So the first thing I got was a land crab. That's right, I got myself a rainbow land crab. He's out in the main bit of the cabin, and basically when we got him, he's under this piece of wood. Shall I hassle him? I'm going to hassle him. I know you shouldn't, but I'm going to. There he is. How glorious he is. Goodbye, land crab. And he has some wee tunnels under the water. So when we first got him, his enclosure looked completely different to this. He's obviously got the filter in there and all of the sand and stuff. His water looks a little bit scummy at the moment. However, when we first got him, the water looked clear, and then after the first day it went awful, and I mean truly awful. And I thought that I'd done something big and wrong, and I went and asked a few people at pet shops, and basically what I've been told is that what I should have done is set up the tank about 4 days, 5 days in advance. And whenever you're using sort of logs, or this is cork bark here, it's all from pet shops, but if you're using anything like that, a few days after you use it, there's going to be a big build-up of bacteria in the water, which is normal apparently. And what they basically say is that you should give it about a week to sort of, I guess, just settle down and just get all, I don't know the word, but apparently after about a week the water will clear, and it's cleared a considerable amount today compared to what it was yesterday, so that's looking hopeful. But I'll keep you updated. He's been happy for the week, he's eaten quite a few random bits. So people were asking for something aquatic, and this is what we got, which is great. I do like him. He's escaped once. I might put that video on if I can. Anyway, let's give him a little You will have a bigger enclosure when he's a little bit bigger. Let's go to the next one. Let me make sure I can see myself. So what we got here, hopefully, where are they? So we got some wee leaf insects. Ooh. There's one. There should be a few in here, but I'm only seeing one at the moment. I guess that's what the point is, that you don't see them. Where are they all? Oh, I see one there. They're only little wee babies at the moment. There appears to be one on the floor over there. They're just here, there and everywhere, just little wee leaf insects. These were something that Cara wanted. We saw a video of some of them that got a bit bigger and they look glorious. So let's have a look at these. So this is what they look like at the moment. I've got 9. Well, I bought 10, and one of them appears to have snuffed it apparently, which is a bit distressing. I'm pretty upset about that. That's not ideal. Yeah, that's a bit crap really. And if anyone, I haven't really got any experience with these. I've read up on them, Basically it's feeding them on brambles, but making sure when they're younger you use older brambles, because they can not choke on the hairs on the younger ones. I mean the rest seem to be okay, but I'm a bit upset about that. It's not ideal. But I mean they're really cool, so I'll keep you updated on these as well. It'd be lovely to see them when they're large. And if anyone has any advice on how to keep these guys, yeah, feel free to give it to me. Give it to me. Don't be too harsh, please. Oh, please, don't be too harsh. But yeah, they're friendly little buggers. I like the way they just sort of plod along. Oh, where is he? Oh, I can't get him. Let's get you. I don't want to hassle them too much. God damn it, they're all attached to their leaves. How do I get one out of that? Come on. He's going to slowly climb onto my finger. Little does he know he's doing exactly what I want. There you go. Look at him. What a guy! Even now he looks like a little leaf. I don't know. You are not the leaves. Why can I not eat you? Oh, look at his tiny little head. You have an head the size of a pea. He's struggling on the hair. Right, let's pop him back because I think I'm distressing him.